What's up YouTube? Today we are going to be covering all of the latest Overwatch 2 news such as hero nerfs, hero buffs, hero changes, all that fun stuff, the new maps, the new mode, the updates, everything that you guys could possibly care to know that we will be seeing on December 6th with the brand new Overwatch update. As always, if you guys are new, make sure that you guys hit the like button on the video and subscribe for the latest Overwatch content, as I do greatly appreciate that. But diving straight in, we will talk a little bit about Ramatra, but not a whole lot because this is somebody that everybody knows about. He's an extremely overpowered tank. He's going to be extremely viable. He will be the first tank that we see with the most abilities, and out of all the heroes, he has the most abilities, but he has two core forms, both Omnic and Nemesis. Anyways, I have a whole video on my channel discussing that, so if you guys don't know yet, I have a video on that. Check it out. Anyways, the exciting stuff about this though is we will be getting a brand new map that's an escort map known as Shambali, I'm not too sure, but it is the home of both Ramatra and Zenyatta. I think this was a really good play by Blizzard, as we've needed a new map for a while, because personally I get tired of playing on the same maps over and over and over, but what can we expect? And personally, I'm just not the biggest fan of the push maps, especially Coliseum, just no. But another little thing that I'm actually excited about with this new map is usually when Blizzard introduces new maps, there are a lot of little small details across the maps that are nice to look at. They give you some hints about the characters and their storyline, their backstory, all that fun stuff. So with this being both Ramatra and Zen's home, or somewhere they used to be at, I think there will be a lot of interesting things to look at around the map. The small things in life mean the most. Alright, so the next thing, which is probably my least favorite, are map pools. I just don't think map pools should be a thing in a game, especially because we have so many different maps. Why are they going to lock us down to playing on certain maps each season? It gets kind of stale and it gets a little bit repetitive. I just think that they should never have introduced map pools. It's never been a good thing in any game, but good news is they're going to keep map pools. And that's not good news, really. But, as I was saying before, with the new season comes a new map pool along with the newest map Shambali. Players can participate in the return of fan-favorite Rialto and the most epic place on Earth, Blizzard World. And rides may not be available due to weather. Okay. And then we will be going back to Oasis at a different part of the day. They had to include that one, and same with Nepal. But they will be getting rid of Hollywood and Watchpoint Gibraltar, and I don't really like Watchpoint, so I'm fine with that. But Hollywood, really? I love that map. But I guess the good news about this is we will be getting the brand new map Shambali. We will be seeing Blizzard World and Rialto coming in exchange for them. I haven't heard much about New Bonnie yet, but I'm hoping that New Bonnie is also included in this, but don't quote me. However, some more exciting stuff that is coming is going to be the next season's theme, which is Greek mythology. If you guys didn't know, we will be getting a bunch of new skins, and they look really good, along with the mythic skin. The mythic skin kind of caught me off guard because Junker Queen, are you serious? They had a whole lot of potential here, and they threw it away, honestly, by picking Junker Queen. And another thing that kind of like scares me a little bit, guys, and makes me anxious is now that we have to pay for these skins, are these skins going to actually be included in the battle pass, or are we going to have to spend $20 to $40 to get just one skin? It's a terrible idea. And I just don't like that. Again, I'd rather have paid $60 for the game, just unlocked skins for playing. Come on, Blizzard. But really, I got off topic a little bit. Junker Queen just really took me by surprise, because why Junker Queen? There's Ana, she's a super high played character. Mercy, another super high played character, along with Diva and just so many others that have such higher pick rates than Junker Queen. I feel like this was Blizzard's failed attempt to get Junker Queen's pick rates up a little bit more. Just not liking that. Alright, now that we're halfway through this video, we're going to talk a little bit about hero buffs and nerfs, and then we're going to wrap this video up at the very end with the new seasonal event. Sojourn, this is a very highly anticipated one that just about all of you guys knew was coming. Sojourn will finally be receiving a nerf, as Blizzard openly admitted that they just think her railgun is too overpowered, or in their own words, it's lethal. Which, me, myself included, Sojourn is very annoying, and if you're not playing her, I don't know why you are. Either A, you just cannot play her, or B, you like to suffer. But the reality of it is she's just basically a more mobile Widow. And without having range drop-off, she really feels and plays like that, especially with her infinite railgun. But the truth of it is they will finally be implementing some changes to Sojourn, and they haven't exactly said what, but if I had to make an assumption, it would be nerfing her railgun or reducing the damage. These are just the obvious ones that we all can agree with. They already said the railgun is just too overpowered. And some people might not be too excited about this nerf. It's definitely the people that have been playing and using and abusing Sojourn, but everybody knows when you're on the opposing team and you have a Sojourn running through your team, it is not so fun. So this is a very needed nerf and a very needed change, but it's like, okay, we're going to nerf Sojourn and then we're going to bring out big boy Ramatra and he's going to be the next issue. But anyways, that was a good play by Blizzard, as I do feel like this nerf is very, very needed. Up next, we will be seeing some significantly different changes with Doomfist, as he will be receiving a buff so he can better support his role as a tank. Especially being that there is only one tank now, it is very important that your tank can hold their own, and Doomfist just hasn't been able to do that so well. And if you disagree with me and you think that Doomfist is fine, this should be no problem to you because he's about to be better. So what Blizzard had said about this is that they're making changes to his core identity, but with that being said, what hints at it for me is his name is Doomfist, and the only thing he can do is punch. So basically, what I'm taking from this information is they're going to increase the damage that his fist does, or maybe give him an additional ability to kind of just make him feel and play a little bit smoother. And being that that's what they said, it kind of indicates that there will be a buff that we will see to Doomfist's fist. And then also going off the fact that Blizzard openly said that they want to increase his ability as a frontlining tank, I would assume automatically that they're going to do something to increase his block ability. And in all honesty, I'm not even upset about that. I don't play tank, but I just feel like Doomfist block ability does suck. And then before anybody attacks me in the comments, take these changes that I'm saying and explaining to you guys with a grain of salt, because this is something that Blizzard has also openly said they're not going to release the indefinite changes until December 6th. This is just my way of informing you guys about the changes a little bit early. But now let's get into the stuff that a lot of you guys actually probably care about, is going to be the support role itself. We are seeing a whole lot of changes and buffs, and what I think will be fairly good changes to the support role. But Ana is going to be receiving some buffs, but they haven't really said anything about what they're going to do to her. But if I had to have any type of theory behind it, something I would personally really like to see, and that would make a little bit of sense, would be if they made it to where D.Va cannot eat Ana's heals. I just don't think it's very cash money that D.Va can sit there and eat heals from the Ana trying to heal her teammates. And then there's the argument of, well, yeah, she should. But if you want D.Va to continue to eat her heals, then what about Ana could they possibly buff? Because she does a really good healing output. There's no problem with that. They don't need to increase that whatsoever. So what is there to change? You know, and obviously you could reduce the timer on her nade, but then that's going to raise the problem of the enemy team always being antied at some instances, or it's just going to be ridiculous because it would cause a real problem if Anas are constantly chucking antis into the enemy's backline or even their front line. So probably the most realistic buff that they could do to Ana would be to reduce her sleep dart, because then it kind of gives her a little bit better self-defense. Because the hard cold truth about it is, no matter what rank you are in, people don't help their backlines at the rate that they should. I am in GM, and 9 times out of 10, teammates do not help healers that are suffering in the backline. Another buff that we will be seeing is a Bastion buff. So this one's interesting, okay? But I think you guys will kind of reason with this one a little bit better. Is Bastion sucks unless he's in his turret mode. If you're not in the turret mode, the tank mode, whatever you want to call it, he's useless. His gun sucks. And his ultimate is even worse. His grenade, it's like okay, like there have been those instances where I've died to them and they work out. So I don't really think there needs to be a whole lot of changes in his little grenade thing. But as far as his ultimate goes and his main weapon, they just need to do something to it to make him a little bit more viable. And honestly, in all honesty, I would be totally fine with them keeping his like primary gun when he's not in turret mode the same. And then that's kind of like the give or take for when you are in turret mode. But what I would like to see Blizzard do, and what I could possibly see them doing, is changing his ultimate. Just going back to the old way that Bastion's ultimate was, because could you imagine that now in a 5v5 situation? Like, the only reason his ultimate was ever really good when he first came out is because everybody was just using exploits to take full advantage of him. But now that they've got that all figured out, and he's playing how they intended for him to be played, he's just bad. So the next buff, and this is probably the buff that I'm most excited to see, is going to be the Junker Queen buffs. Again, we don't know what they're thinking about doing to these heroes, but Junker Queen is somebody that needs a serious rework. Like, the difference in Junker Queen and Roadhog, and I hate to compare the two, Roadhog can kill people, Ryan can kill people, D.Va can kill people, but like Junker Queen doesn't have the same potential as all the other tanks. She's kind of right there with Doomfist. And now that they're buffing Doomfist, it's only fair that they buff Junker Queen right there with him. I mean, yeah, it's cool. She could throw this little knife at you and pull you back to her, but again, like, it's so hard to kill people that are being healed at the same time as Junker Queen. And her ultimate, I hate her ult. Like, why is that her ult? And they made it look so good and so powerful in the beta, and that's what hurts the most. Junker Queen looked so good and so powerful in the beta. And then she came into the actual game and she was horrible. You know, and the knife is nowhere near like Hog hooking you. Like, if he hooks you and he pulls you to himself and he's any good at the game, he's probably going to kill you if you're a 200 HP opponent. However, Junker Queen's going to fling you into her with her knife, and then she's going to do like 50 to 100 damage on you, and you're going to run away because she's not good unless she's in your face. And that's why Junker Queen needs a buff, like she does. And the reason that Junker Queen was so like played and so hyped up was because in the pre-release, her ability where she shouts, I can't think what it's called right now, but her shouting ability was so powerful, and then they nerfed it. And now she's just useless all over again. Like, we're back in square one where they release these heroes and we see them and they hold a lot of potential, but they're too overpowered. And then Blizzard makes small changes and it just ruins the pick rates and makes them almost unplayable. So I'm really excited to see some possible changes coming to Junker Queen. However, I'm not too sure what they have in mind for that. So if you guys have ideas, let me know in the comments below because I'd love to hear. Okay, now the other big nerf that we're going to be seeing in this new update is a Kiriko nerf, okay? But the only thing, and I mean the only thing that they could possibly nerf about Kiriko is her ultimate ability. The rest of her kit honestly seems fairly balanced. I mean, when she throws her little kunais that deal damage to you, they're kind of strong if she can aim. Like, I'm not a big fan of the fact that they will literally kill you if you get hit by 2 of them in the head. I mean, again, it is headshot damage. I can reason with it. But her ultimate ability is crazy, okay? They do have to make some changes to it. I just hope that when they do make the changes to her ultimate, because that's honestly the only thing I could see them doing, I just hope they don't ruin it. Like, they just don't ruin Kiriko as a hero like they did with Junker Queen. You know, and the problem with her ult is, like, really that what she does is she makes those trade-offs. So, for example, when you play Reaper, he does a lot of damage up close, but in exchange for that, he shoots slower. But when Kiriko ults, he's now shooting super fast, doing that same damage. It's very rare that a Kiriko ults with her whole team alive, and that team doesn't win that fight. It's very rare. And, I mean, if they're not going to change her ultimate, the only other thing I could possibly see them doing is giving her cleanse ability a higher timer. So she can't cleanse as often. Maybe like something similar to an anti-nade, but it's just not as often. So really the only thing that Blizzard is really considering right now is working on that ultimate a little bit and maybe making some changes to it. There's just no telling what they're actually thinking. But again, for me, when I look at it, it's like the trade-offs that people have to lose or gain when they play these certain heroes. They're just all removed when Kiriko ults. Like, Bastion's another great example. This guy shoots so fast when he's in his turret mode. He hops in Kiriko's ult, and it's insane. So again, like, that's really all I can see happening with the Kiriko changes. Just maybe making her cleanse timer a little bit longer or making some adjustments to her ultimate. Like, I'm cool if they still want to have the heroes shoot faster. I do understand that's, like, the whole idea of her kit. But again, they do have to find a way, and I know like everybody hates hearing this, but they have to find a way to balance these heroes out with their ults. So the next one is Mercy, okay? And this is one that I'm actually really excited to talk about, and that my girlfriend will probably also be really interested to see and hear about. Mercy's an interesting one, okay? Because what does she like to do? She likes to fly, okay? Anybody that plays Mercy, she likes to fly. That's her whole kit. I don't really see them necessarily increasing her healing. They might increase her damage, but again, like, we already learned from this current season that what Blizzard did by increasing the damage on all supports wasn't really what any support players wanted. They just wanted different abilities or more ways to be mobile. But the issue here is with Ramattra coming into the game and his Revenous Vortex, which is essentially something he can throw on the ground that just completely obliterates any airborne type of characters. Mercy's really going to struggle. She's in Guardian Angel, he throws that down. No, she's not in Guardian Angel anymore. She's trying to fly to another opponent. No, she's not doing that anymore. She's on the ground and she's dying. So I feel like with Ramattra being introduced to the game, the reason that they're now considering these buffs for Mercy are simply because Mercy will not be viable when there's a Ramattra, and being that he's the new tank, that's what everybody's going to be playing. And let's not forget that Ramattra is still extremely overpowered, and that's something that Blizzard will see with just a little bit of time. So the final hero buff that we're going to be seeing is going to be Symmetra, and we've already had some teased information about this possibly being where she can charge up her primary fire with barriers again, considering that's kind of her whole kit. And honestly, that's probably the weakest buff that they could have done. That doesn't change anything for me, and I don't think it'll change anything for anybody that's playing the game. This is something that Symmetra's always been able to do. So, I mean, we can expect to see a Symmetra buff, but out of all the hero changes, she's probably the one that I'm A, least excited for, and B, not really going to talk about, because there's not really much to say about her, because they already kind of teased that they're going to be making changes to her primary fire along with how she deals with barriers. So that can really only mean that she's going to now charge up her primary fire when she shoots barriers again, which is totally acceptable. Okay, now the final thing about this video that I told you guys like a couple minutes ago that I was going to talk about is the new event, which is the Lunar event and the Winter Wonderland event. But what's most exciting about this is Blizzard actually said that this year, this is going to be the year, that they rework all the rewards and give us new rewards for playing their game. We can unlock skins and other, you know, quote-unquote cool cosmetics without having to actually pay for them. Which this is a power play by Blizzard, because a lot of people were very unsatisfied and unhappy with how they did the Halloween event. You didn't get anything for participating in that. If you wanted Halloween skins, you had to spend $20 to $40 plus just to get them. And Blizzard received a little bit of negative feedback from the players that play their game because of that, and that's totally fair. Blizzard is still maintaining the same thing that they did with their Twitch viewership and saying that if you want to watch other streamers who stream on Twitch, you can still receive rewards for that. And that's going to remind me, guys, if you want to support me on Twitch, I stream Overwatch on Twitch almost every single day. My Twitch is in the description below if you guys want to show some love. But yeah, you can receive rewards if you guys continue to watch, you know, your favorite Overwatch 2 streamers on Twitch. You can get a legendary Ramatra skin for that as well, which is pretty cool. And then if you guys participate in the Battle of Olympus limited time event that's coming out, brand new event that's coming out, you will also be rewarded a brand new skin for completing the challenges. And that's going to include the Epic Ice Queen Brig and then a legendary Winged Victory Mercy along with a brand new Echo skin. So again, power play by Blizzard. They're doing a lot of good stuff right now when it comes to cosmetics, because a lot of people are just very, very unhappy with their approach to the skins in their new game. But honestly, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this whole video. If you guys did enjoy, please smash that like button for me and subscribe if you're new. And I will see you guys next time in my next Overwatch video. Thank you so much.